Hello, welcome back. Now in this video, which is the third part of this video series, we're going to go through the Eunos Primary School Primary 4 end of year exam mathematics practice paper set on, but only for section C, question 41 to 45. In this video series, in this particular video, I will not be going through the answers. However, I will help you, if you are my student, to understand the questions and to figure out how to draw the model to better visualize it. But I'll leave the solution to you. Now, if you have not watched part 1 and part 2, please do so. Part 1 is for question 21 to question 30, and for part 1's video, the solutions are all worked out for you. In part 2, which is for question 31 to question 40, is done in similar fashion to this video, where you will get to understand the question better with the model drawn but no solutions. Let's get started with this now. So if you're my student, you'll be doing this on Tuesday, 18th of October 2022 for your HBL work. Alright, and this is for question 41 to 45. My advice is please try it on your own first before you watch the video. I repeat, try on your own first. And after you watch the video, please draw the model out if I'm drawing any model. Okay. Now notice here in this section they say that marks will be awarded for correct labeling and drawing of models, and that's for question 42 to 44. So drawing model is necessary for question 42 for question 44. For question 41, please do it as well as part of your learning. Let's carry on now. Calvin and Tim has $500 all together. Tim and James have $745 all together. How many people are there? Calvin, Tim, and James. Calvin and James have $485 altogether. We have Calvin, Tim, and James. 3 persons. Alright, in different combinations. It's kind of confusing, right? Without a model. So before even going to the question, let's understand how to draw this model. Okay, let's take a look at the first question. How much more money does Tim have than James? To look at the Tim and James part, now you naturally will be thinking of this, but this part will not be helpful. So instead be looking at this part with the Calvin and Tim and Calvin and James. And this is the part that is helpful. How? Let me show you with the model. So let's try with Calvin and Tim, Calvin and James. Now why do I use Calvin and Tim, Calvin and James? Because I notice Calvin repeats itself in both cases. That means that the part with Calvin is exactly the same for both, right? Because Calvin has the same amount of money whether you're adding Calvin and Tim or Calvin and James. Now the difference therefore, if I know that Calvin and Tim has $500 all together, that's for Calvin and Tim. And I'm also told that Calvin and James have 485, which is less. So I know for the second model, I know I should draw less, a shorter one. So you can see here, this is $485. How is this helpful? Now notice Calvin part is the same, right? Ignore since it's the same. So what I need to focus on is this part. And notice that this is a part that is the more than, right? Tim have more money than James. So how do you find this part? Very simple. For part A, notice that 500 is here. I'll do question 41 for you, alright? But please make sure you do the rest on your own. You have your $15. That's for part A. Now for part B, how much money does James have? In this case, now we look at this model. So this is for part A. Now for part B. I know the model here shows James and Tim. Remember who has more money? Tim has more money, right? So I repeat that model above, Tim and James. I repeat the part that shows Tim has $15 more. So you can see that this part here, I dot. This is a $15 more money. Remember, Tim have $15. Tim has $15 more than James. Tim has $15 more than James. And all together they have $745. If only I can get rid of the 15, then this will be 2 equal parts. Right now they are not 2 equal parts. This is a little bit longer. If I can get rid of the 15, then I can divide by 2, right? To find out how much James have. So first step for this, you use 745, subtract away 15, you have $730. And then this amount you will divide by 2. After you divide by 2, you'll find out what is the value of one of these parts. And this answer will be the answer for James. How much money does James have? And make sure you transfer the answer over here. Okay, you figure this out yourself. Okay, do your long division here to work it out. Now let's go on to the next question. Now there was a total of 340 liters of water in 3 tanks. There's a tank A, tank B, and tank C. Now tank B contains 3 times as much water as tank A. Tank C contains twice as much water as tank B. So I noticed that this is something that we learned before, how to draw this, right? Remember, we have our tank A and let's say tank B. B contains 3 times as much. Remember, learn to draw the model. So it's 3 times 1, 2, 3. 3 times as much. And then for A, it will just be 1. So this model shows the first condition given here. Tank B contains 3 times 1, 2, 3 as much water as tank A. Tank C contains twice as much as tank B. Now tank C here, twice as much. Twice means 2 times. 2 times. Now if B has 3 parts here, and if C has twice as much, how many parts should I draw for C? 6, right? 6 times 3 is 6. Sorry, 2 times 3 is 6. So for tank C, it will be this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I've used the second condition, done. Last part is a total of 340 liters in all 3 tanks. Once you have reached this part, the rest will be easy. How? To get 340 liters, how many parts must be added up together to get 340? You count it yourself. How many parts? Fill it in yourself. Okay, fill in how many parts, count it. How many parts is equivalent to 340 liters? Find out what is 1 part. And then this answer, find out what is 1 part, and this answer will be answer to part A. Then go on to part C. How much water is there in tank C? Now, part A is 1 part, right? Tank C is 6 parts. So find out what is the answer for the second part, which is tank C. How much water in tank C? Just multiply the answer in tank A by 6. Next question. Oh, don't forget to write your answer at the bottom. Now notice there are no units here, so you have to write down the units for section C questions yourself. Without units, your marks will be deducted. Next one, rope B is 1/6 meters long. It is 1/4 meter shorter than rope A. Rope C is 1/3 meter longer than rope A. So notice that so far these questions are all very similar in that you have parts that are more than, how many times more than. Okay, so get a hang of drawing this kind of model to better understand this kind of questions. Okay, so let's draw the model. We have our rope B is 16 meters. So rope B is 16 meters. I use a ruler because it's neater and I like my work to be neat. So please use your ruler as well. Now, is rope B longer or rope A longer? Let's see. Rope B is 16 meter long. It refers to rope B. It is 1/4 meter shorter than rope A. So rope B is shorter than rope A. In other words, how much shorter? Shorter by 1/4 meter shorter than rope A. So rope A is longer by 1/4 meter. So they ask you, what is, for part A, what is the length of rope A? Now if you look at the model, let's cover this part. What is the value of this unit here, red unit? It should be exactly the same as the purple one, see, because the length is the same. So this part is also 1/6 unit. How about this other part? We already know that rope A is 1/4 meter longer than rope B. Rope B is 1/4 meter shorter than rope A. So this part is 1/4 meter. So what is the length of rope A? So this is a clue for you. Find out what is this and you find out what's the length of rope A. Let's go on to part B. Now how much longer is rope C than rope B? Okay, now we know that rope C is 1/3 meter longer than rope A. So let's say you know what's the value of your rope A. Alright, so your answer in part A here will give a length of rope A. So I'm not sure what this is because you have to figure out. So find out what is this. This will be your value for rope A. So I'll just put it here. This is the 1/6 meters. This part is a 1/4 meter. This is for rope A. Rope C is longer than rope A by 1/3 meter. How to draw rope C then? Longer will be this part, right? Longer. Longer means it must jut out. So this part is the longer part, longer by 1/3 meter. Rope C is longer. So how much longer is rope C compared to rope B? So first find out what is the length of rope C. Then this is the length of rope B. You compare these two to find out how much longer is rope C than B. When you compare, you need to do some operation, which is either plus, minus, times, or divide. You decide for yourself. If you want to find out how much longer rope C is than rope B, what should you do? Should you plus or minus or times or divide these two numbers? A notebook, question 44. A notebook, a stapler, a pencil case cost $25.40 altogether. The notebook costs $3.50 less than the stapler. The pencil case costs $4.30 more than the stapler. Once again, let's draw the model first. Now we know the notebook and stapler. Okay, let's draw this part out, notebook and stapler. The altogether part is not so useful at the start to drawing the model. These things that tell us more than less than is very useful. How? Notebook and stapler. Which is longer? Which one costs more? Notebook costs less. So the notebook one should be shorter. So I just draw like this to show that. Okay, 350 should fit in here. If this is the cost of the notebook, this is the cost of the stapler costs $3.50 more than the notebook. Okay, that's what this part means. Next part, the pencil case costs more than the stapler. Now pencil case costs more. So the part for the pencil case costs more, must stick out, right? So this part will be your $4.30. Now we put in the all together. This part is the all together. So all together for notebook, stapler, and pencil case will be $25.40. Now, if all these three are equal parts, I can just divide by 3, right? But I cannot. If only I can, let's say, cover this part. Then I'll see 1, 2, 3 equal parts. Then I can divide by 3. So that's always the idea for this kind of model. So let me just draw one more line down here and ask you, what do you think is this value? Hint, here, what's the value of this unit here? Okay, yes, that's 350. So now you see a way, right? How can we remove these 3 such that we have a number here that is the value of these 3 equal parts, this red, and this purple one. Then you will know the value of the notebook. And once you find the value of the notebook, which is this part, which is the same as this, you can find out the value of the stapler. How? This plus this. Let's go to the last question now. Ismail, Lionel, and Matthew have a total mass of 134.2 kilograms. Ismail's weight is twice as much as Lionel's weight. Matthew is 3.5 kg heavier than Lionel. By now, this should be easy to draw, right? Between Ismail and Lionel, Ismail weighs more. How much more? Twice as much as Lionel. See? Twice. 1, 2. Twice as much as Lionel's weight. Matthew is heavier than Lionel. How? 3.8 kg heavier. So Matthew is heavier. How much? But should I draw the part for Matthew to be longer than Ismail or less? I don't know, right? And I don't really need to know. I just need to know 3.8 refers to this part. And now I can use this number. The total mass of the 3 boys would be 134.2 kilograms. Now, how many equal parts do you see? Is it 5 or 4? Very good. It is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 are equal. So just like before, if I can get rid of these 3.8, alright, I subtract 3.8. I can get rid of this 3.8, I'll have 4 equal parts. Then I just need to divide by 4. I can find out what is 1 equal part, which is Lionel's weight is 1 part. Matthew's weight, then of course I just need to add 3.8. Okay? So that's all the help I can provide you with for this video. All the best to your HBL lesson. If you're not my student and you're watching this, all the best for your revision. I'll see you in the next video.